In this video, I'm going to show you DNS in detail. So what is DNS? It's a domain name system. So as we humans, we don't understand numbers, so it's hard to remember. That's why the DNS helps us to remember the domain name. So it automatically converts domain names into IP addresses because machines understand only numbers such as IP addresses. So if I do NS lookup madhukareddy.com, so it's converting domain names into IPs. So instead of the domain name, if I go to browser, if I look for madhukareddy.com, it's going to load it, right? Instead of domain, if I put the IP address we just got, so it's automatically redirected into that domain name. So this is how it works. So the DNS basically converts IPs into domain names into IPs. So let's look at another example. If I look for google.com, so I got this IP. So instead of google.com in the browser, if I put this IP, so it's redirected into google.com only. So this is how it works. And if you look at any .com, for instance madhukareddy.com, so this dot is a root domain, we call it. Okay, this is the root level domain. And .com, .edu, .org, .biz, we got .shop, .online, and many other domain top level domains. So we call it top level domain. After dot, it's a top level domain. And if you see something before that top level domain, so for instance before .com, it's a madhukareddy. This is the second level domain, we call it. Okay, so for instance mit.edu, this is second level domain. Coursera.org, Coursera is a second level domain. And if you see something before the second level domain, that's going to be subdomain. So I do have a subdomain. For instance, if you do docker.madhukareddy.com, so in this case docker is second level. If you see anything before this second level domain such as madhukareddy, that's going to be a subdomain. So if we do, now you can see this is a subdomain. So we need to, if you're a DevOps engineer or Linux administrator or a bug bounty hunter or a cybersecurity engineer, so you need to understand all these things clearly. Okay, so basically in top level domains we have two types of domains again: generic top level domain such as .com, .edu, .org, .biz, .shop, .on, etc. So these are generic top level domains. We have 200 plus generic top level domains. And then country code top level domains: .in, .ca, .us, .GoDaddy. These are specific to specific countries. For instance, if I go to GoDaddy.com, if I look for Madhu, doesn't matter, any domain. If I look for .us, so it says restrictions apply. So I'm an Indian, so I can't buy this domain because it says, come on, sorry I missed, it says if I click on restrictions, it says must be US citizen or permanent residents of the US. So I can't buy it, but I can buy .in because I'm an Indian. If you want to buy .ca, you need to be Canadian citizen or permanent resident. As you can see the restrictions here. Okay, Canadian presence. So these are country specific domains, so country code top level domains. So we understood what's a root level domain, top level, second level, and subdomain. Now we need to understand what are DNS records. So these are important. For this demo, I bought a domain at GoDaddy.com. That's if I go to my products, I have DevOps hero.xyz. I just bought this domain to show this demo, and then click on domain. and then go to DNS. So you can see DNS records, name servers, and other stuff. So basically, name servers, wherever you want to host your DNS records, you need to point these name servers to there. For instance, if I go to AWS, I do have Route 53. So we do have. So look for Route 53, then click on created hosted zone. Just put the domain name you bought, devopshero.xyz, and then create. So if I want to create DNS records instead of this GoDaddy, this is where I bought my domain. If I want to maintain those records in AWS, I need to update these name servers. So NS stands for name servers. Okay, I need to update these name servers at GoDaddy to connect that domain to here. So that's why these are a crucial one. So just while updating this, make sure you own that those name servers. Okay, that's fine. So here I'm not going to change it for now. Maybe I'm going to change it later. Now click on DNS records. So you can see different kinds of records here. So if you come over here, so A record stands for IPv4, AAA for IPv6, MX records for emails, TXT to verify your domain, and then name servers, as I said, name servers, and then you can say CNAME as well. So let's verify those. So if I click on add new DNS record, okay, if I go and then what you can do, if you choose A record, and then you can see placeholder for IPv4. If you click on AAA, then it's expecting IPv6. So let's go with IPv4 now. So I'm gonna put at the right. So that's a root level domain. So that's a root domain. Root domain in the sense devops.xyz, devopshero.xyz. I'm not going to put any subdomains for now. And then I need to have an IP address. For this demo, I'm going to create an EC2 machine on AWS. You don't need to create this server, but if you have an account, you can create it. But just to try to understand how I'm mapping. So I'm going to name it test EC2. It doesn't matter, you can name it anything. Then choose Ubuntu. If you want to understand how these works, just watch a series. I have a series AWS 0 to Hero. Just watch that series, okay? And then launch instance. Now, if I come back, if I go to terminal, if I run the command ns lookup DevOps hero.xyz, so it doesn't have any IPs. So if I go back here, if I look DevOps hero.xyz, it's not going to resolve to anything because we haven't mapped any IPs at this domain. So now I created a machine. Now I got a public IP address, then copy it and then connect to that machine. Okay, default username is Ubuntu. You don't need to understand these things, but try to understand how I'm mapping the DNS records to IP addresses and other things. Okay. So meanwhile, I'm gonna go to GoDaddy and gonna put that public IP of that EC2 machine and save it. Let me reopen this terminal. Okay, I'm connected now. So just do sudo su. Let me open new terminal. If you're using Windows, you can open command prompt. Then done ns lookup DevOps hero.xyz. So soon it's gonna update an IP address of that machine. We updated DNS record at GoDaddy. So let's wait for a file. So meanwhile, I'm gonna install Nginx on this web server. Apps update Nginx -y and a certbot as well. I'm gonna install Copy this public IP again, put it here. Now you're gonna see welcome to Nginx page soon. Okay, let it load. I think still installing. Let's open ChatGPT for a simple static website. Simple HTML and CSS website in a single file. Just copy it, then come back to your instance, go to www.html, TLS, remove this one, index.html, and then paste it, and then Control C. Now come back here, copy the public IP again, and put it. Now you can see this website. So if you go back to terminal again, just look for ns lookup DevOps hero.xyz. It's gonna resolve that IP, but and let's do one thing. We can do the Google, this one, so we can verify from here as well. DevOps hero.xyz. So I'm looking for IPv4. Yeah, that's a record. So it's resolving to 238 is the tower IP, others IP. So if I go back and look here, let me close these tabs, and then HTTP DevOps hero.xyz. It should show this page. Let's see. Okay, it's redirecting to HTTPS. For now we don't have HTTPS, but if you run the ns lookup again, now it's showing this IP. So that means it connecting to this IP address, and this IP address has this code inside running, but it's redirecting to HTTPS. So let's configure that as well. We're going to do that because I need to prove how to use this TXT records. Okay, now I proved this one. Then let's try IPv6. I don't have any IPv6, but I can show a demo here. Click on add a new record. If I choose IPv6, if I put, it doesn't matter, put anything. If I put IPv4, if I try to save it, it's going to give an error because record data is invalid. It is expecting IPv6. So, but I'm giving IPv4. So if you have any IPv6 addresses, so you can map it this way. Let's cancel it. And then now I want to have HTTPS for my website. So basically these TXT records are used to verify your domain mostly. So what I'm going to do, come back to this terminal again. Let's run this command. I'm gonna put this command in the description. So this one, just copy this command. I think it's gonna give an error, I think so. Okay, just update this email as well as per your let me put info madhukare.com, that's fine. Then put slash here. Yeah, copy this command and paste it in your terminal. Again, you don't need to do this, but if you know how to do this, you can do, but just try to understand it. So I'm requesting for HTTPS certificates for this domain devops.xyz, this one, but it is asking that, okay, I can give you the certificates, but how can you prove it that you own this domain? Then it is asking that if you own this domain, go to your domain and create a TXT record with this value, and the name should be this one. So as we own this domain, let's go to there and then click on DNS records, then choose TXT, and then they asked us to create ACME-challenge and then put the value. So that's fine. Now look for the Google again, just verify it. That's underscore ACME-challenge dot DevOps hero.xyz. So it's a TXT record. Now we can see KX0. Yeah, that's the one. Now then enter. Again, it's going to ask you to create another record. Go back, come back here, click on new record. So this is how we can use TXT to verify that you are the owner. ACME-challenge, put the value and save. So before entering, let's check it again whether you got the new one. Still old one. It takes a while. Again, you need to type underscore ACME-challenge dot DevOps hero.xyz. Now you got the other record as well. That's fine. Then press enter. Now it's gonna give you, oops, maybe we could have waited. That's fine. Rerun it. Go back. Again create a record. TXT underscore ACME-challenge. Make sure to put the right spelling. Again, we need to wait for a while to show up here. So this is how you can use TXT records to verify your domain. Okay, then let it done. Now this one. Yeah, QG. Okay, that's fine. Again, one more time. It usually asks for a couple of times only, but we clicked earlier in the last time, that's why. That's fine. TXT underscore ACME-challenge and the value. Now it ends with the OU. Let's see. Refresh it. Come on. ACME-challenge DevOps hero.xyz. Now I can see 2 records only, but it takes a while, as I said. That's fine. Click on somewhere and check it again. I hope it's updated, but sometimes it doesn't show up in the UI. That's fine. Let me click continue. Yeah, it's been successful. Now we got these certificates. So come back here and copy this one. Make sure to update your domain names here, and put the path as well we just got. So these files path. So usually your domain in between, just change this one. That's fine. It's not about the Nginx class, so try to understand DNS. Focus on that, okay? Then jump back to etc Nginx sites enabled. Click on ls, remove this default, and then create DevOps and paste it. Control C, Nginx -t. and then systemctl restart Nginx. As our DNS is pointing to the same server, EC2 server 238. Now if I come back here, if I refresh it, maybe if I do, maybe it's been cached. Let me open in incognito. Still cached here as well. Let me try on my mobile. Actually, I can see that in my mobile. Maybe it's been cached in these browsers. Maybe let me open this browser. Now we can see that. So this is how we can use TXT record to verify your domain. You are the domain owner or your domain authenticity, and then A record for IPv4, AAA for IPv6, and then name servers. We're gonna do the. I'm gonna show this one as well, and then MX records as well. So MX record, what it does actually. So we are maintaining our DNS records at GoDaddy, right? GoDaddy, and we have DevOps hero.xyz domain in here. So I want to get an email info at the right DevOps hero.xyz. Okay. So if I want to have an email, I need to have emails hosting server, or I can use any online provider. So in my case, I'm going to go with Zoho Mail. Okay. Zoho Mail. So I'm going to give Zoho that I own this domain, DevOps hero.xyz, and then again they're going to ask me to create a txt record. So as we did earlier, so I'm going to do the same with it. I'll come to GoDaddy, then I'll create the txt record as per the given value, and then once I prove that I own the domain, I need to provide mx records. So if I want to send an email from info@devops.xyz, or if I want to receive an email from outside, so I need to map these records this Zoho is going to give me. Then I'm going to update these two at GoDaddy. So that's how it connects. So if someone sends an email to info@devops.xyz, it's going to go to Zoho first, because it's going to go to actually GoDaddy first. This is where I'm creating DNS records. Then it looks for MX records. Okay, and that MX records are pointing to Zoho. Then I'll receive an email on Zoho. So let's configure that. So what I did actually, I already signed it up in. I was trying to record a video, but some reason the sound didn't come. So I'm gonna put that video in between, and then once you sign up, then it's going to take a while to update the DNS records. Okay, in that video, then once those records updated, you're going to see a page like this one. and then click on create. So it says, okay, it says Madhu at the right, that one. Okay, actually I want to edit it. Let's go back. Probably let me delete it. You can't delete. Okay, that's fine. I got a domain email as Madhu at the right DevOps hero.xyz. That's fine. Then click on proceed to groups, and then DNS mapping. I'm not creating any groups. Here it says click on configure manually. Of course, you can do them automatically, but what you can do actually, let me go back. Yeah, if you click on login to DNS, my DNS, then you need to sign in with your GoDaddy here. So I don't want to do that for security reasons. So I can create manually. So if you do this, they automatically come to your account, this one, and they can add DNS records here. But I want to show it manually, so that's fine. I'm going to go with click on configure manually, and then these are going to ask, we need to create these records. So these has priority, so this looks for this one first. If in case this email server is down, it looks for this one. If it is down, then looks for this one. So they have got two backups. And then we need to create SPF. So SPF record, basically if someone tries to spoof your email, don't create these records at DNS, so someone can spoof it as they're sending from this email. Okay, so that's why we need to add this record for this DK, this one as well, DKM. So this one protects us from spoofing. So let's create these records. Go back to GoDaddy and then click on DNS records. Choose MX. Name is this one. Priority 0. Actually, value should be here. I think. Let's go back. Okay, it's a record type MX, or you can put at the right actually. So here you need to put at the right value and that one, and then we need to add two more records, MX at the right, and then get this one, priority as 20, value as this one, and third record MX at the right, priority is 50 as they said only. So here priority 50, and copy this one. Let's save these records for now and then continue with creating these records as well. So type txt and then at the right put this value. Go back. We just need to follow their instruction. That's it. Of course, you don't need this demo, but in order to understand in deep, so you won't forget, right? This is a txt, right? Txt, and then name. Is that the name? Let me check back. Check. Okay, at the right is the, okay. At the right, you can put at the right and then value. Again, one more txt record. Txt record. The name should be this one, and the value should be this one. Save all records. So you're done with that. Come back here and click on verify records. Of course, it's going to take a while. So before that, if you click on this link, so you can verify here as well. So those records have been updated. Maybe you can do dig Google as well. Type MX records, so you can see them. Now if I refresh it here, let's try to verify it. Zoho is going to take a while to get these new updates. Let's click on verify. I'm going to pause the video and once it updates, I'll come back. Probably it's going to take a while. It says 30 minutes to 1 day, but it doesn't take 1 day, probably 30 minutes. I'm back here after a while. So my DNS records been updated, and then click on proceed email migration. If you have any emails earlier, so you can migrate, but I don't have any emails earlier, so click on proceed to go mobile, and then proceed setup completed. Go to admin console or check out your inbox. So I don't have any emails yet, so I'm gonna go to Gmail, compose to madhu@devopshero.xyz, testing email, and send. It's been sent. Okay, now come back here again, not this one, this tab, skip it. So if you refresh it, yeah, now I received. So let's reply. Hey there. So this is how you can have a free email as well for with your domain. Zoho gives up to 5 emails for free. Okay, if I come back and inbox, I can see that. If you click on to me, so it shows from mailed by, yeah, you can see mailed by DevopsHero.xyz. So this is how you can do. You can see from madhu@devopshero.xyz. So this is how MX records works. And then CNAME, basically, imagine you have a load balancer on AWS. So you want to forward a subdomain. Basically, what you can do, you can't forward your root domain. Okay, root domain in the sense you can't forward DevOps hero.xyz to a CNAME. So it's not going to be possible. So CNAME. So I'm gonna put it. It says blog or shop or something else. So it doesn't show option this one, right? Let's try to put that. And then meanwhile I'm going to do create a load balancer in AWS. So you don't need to understand these things, but try to focus on that thing. Again, I'm repeating this. Okay, click on create load balancer application. Maybe gonna say, you can name it anything, and then Antiprod. Create. Once you do this, you're gonna get DNS name. Copy this, go to GoDaddy. I put CNAME. I'm using for root domain. That's a DevOps hero.xyz. Of course, it's not going to support, but I just want to show that error as well. Click on save. So it shows that record data is invalid. Why? It's expecting something.com, but of course I'm giving something.com, but it's going to expect, maybe if I do google.com, it's so, because this we are trying to forward root domain, that's why it doesn't support actually. So it must be a subdomain. It could be www or blog, shop, or anything, but it must be a subdomain. That's why. So let's put a subdomain. I'm gonna say blog or shop. It doesn't matter. And then let me give custom 600, and then click on save. Now it's gonna update. So if I come back here, if I look for ns lookup blog.devops it's going to take a while to update the DNS records. Then it's going to show up IP addresses of this domain, this load balancer. Let's refresh it. Maybe just go to dig.google.com and then put blog.devops.xyz and then click for what it calls a record will be fine. So now it's pointing to this DNS. So it has a public IP. I'm not going to dig into the load balancer stuff. If you want to, we have a load balancer in our channel as well. That's fine. So let's visit that blog.devopshero.xyz. So HTTP, we don't have HTTP, yes, over there. That's fine. I'm not going to configure this, but you got an idea, right? You can do ns lookup as well. It's resolving to that load balancer's DNS name. It's gonna be maybe it's gonna take a while to in the terminal, but still you can see in dig.google.com, right? So this is where you can see that new one. That's DNS name of that load balancer, and then we have seen CNAME, A records, MXT, TXT, name servers. So let's discuss these name servers. So what are they actually? So what I'm going to do, let me put in AWS we have we have Route 53, and here we can create a hosted zone. Okay. So if I create a hosted zone, DevOps hero.xyz. So let's see that. If I go back to, sorry for this lengthy video, but I hope you understand this. Okay. So you can come back to AWS, then click on look for Route 53, then click on hosted zone, and then actually I already created that GoDaddy. We bought domain at GoDaddy, right? GoDaddy. What's our domain name? devopshero.xyz. So we can see name servers as GoDaddy's name servers here now. So in simply I'm going to put as ns name servers of we are using GoDaddy's name servers, right? So we need to update this. So if someone tries to visit from the internet, devops.xyz, it's going to come to GoDaddy. Then it looks for the name servers. So we have name servers of GoDaddy itself. That's why we are able to create DNS records here only, GoDaddy itself. So in my case, what I'm trying to do now, I'm going to create a hosted zone on AWS. So this one is going to give me some name servers. So you can see here. So I've created this hosted zone. I got this name servers. Okay, I've got these name servers. Now if I want to create the records at AWS itself, what I need to do, I need to update these name servers at GoDaddy. So once you do this, the DNS records of whatever we have at GoDaddy, it's going to be invalidated because the name servers are pointing to AWS. Then we can create DNS records at AWS then. So that's what name servers means. So I'm not going to update them, but I'm going to show you how to do. So you can check it yourself if you have AWS account on this one. Okay, if you don't have it, just try to understand it. So just click on name servers. Before changing, you can see these are name servers of GoDaddy itself. Okay, and if you click on this, let me put something, at least one. I'm not going to change it. I just want to show that. Maybe I'm gonna keep this. So once I click on save, oops. So it's gonna ask me that, are you sure? Because changing names are risky, because once you change it, so the everything you're gonna maintain from here only, the DNS records. So if you don't own this, I own this in my case, but if you don't own it, so don't update it, because it's risky, because they can redirect to anywhere. So that's the thing. So I'm not gonna update it. I'm gonna click on cancel, because I already set it up everything. So these are name servers we call, okay. And before finishing wrapping this lecture, let me scroll down. So I want to show this one as well. So what happens actually, once you look for any domain, for instance AWS DevOps.xyz, DevOps.xyz, then you never visited your browser before, then you don't have cache. So once you visit it, it's going to keep a cache, and it's going to be stayed in your browser as per this TTL, which for this one we create TTL, right, time to live. So these 1 seconds it's going to be cached. So once this is been done, then it's going to request again. So if you visited once, you can have local cache. If you never visited, then it's going to go to your ISP, that's the internet service provider. It could be Geo8 or anyone else, and then it looks for in their address, their DNS addresses. So basically the famous websites of Google, Facebook, Instagram.com usually be cached, so you're gonna get a quick reply. If they don't have, they usually have to a DevOps aero.xyz, because that's a new domain, so it's not famous. Then it's gonna go to root server. So wherever you are, in my case I do have .xyz, right? The domain ends with .xyz. So whichever the TLD it has, it goes over there, and then it looks for name servers. So it looks for these ones. In my case I do have AWS. Of course I didn't update, so I do have the GoDaddy itself. So that looks for GoDaddy, and then that looks for DNS records. So that's how it works. So then it looks for DNS records. So this is all about DNS. There were some new records as well, and I didn't explore them, so that's why I didn't add them. These are quite new. These HTTP CAAA, so I've never seen them before, so I gotta check these. So that's how DNS works. That's everything about DNS in detail. So sorry for this lengthy lecture. I just wanted to show everything practically. Of course I could have explained in 5 minutes without showing these demos. So that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. If you can afford a domain, just buy any domain with .xyz. At the moment they have a sale, so it's gonna cost around 105 rupees around. Yeah, you can try that. That's everything for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Please share and subscribe the channel if you find it helpful. Thanks again.